This is the L2C Media Network, full of crunchberries. From live from the Fred McLeod Sports Desk at the Tom O'Neill Studios in Jackson, this is Sports Final with Steve the Baxman Baxley, presented by the L2C Media Network. And now, with Sporty balls as huge as ever, on a Friday night, let's get ready to rock and roll with your Sporty balls. Here's Steve, the Baxman Baxley. Hey, how you doing, everybody? Excuse me. I have a Beatles haircut. Not for long, but we're going to do something mighty interesting with this hairstyle. That is correct. Welcome, everybody, to the show that refuses to grow up, the show that refuses to be tempered down by any sort of being, as it were. You know what I mean by twir. That's right. This is the place where your sporty balls run free. And there you go. Okay. And just as awesome as ever. That's right. Run through. That's right. It's free range sporty balls. Anyway, folks. Let's or not. I don't believe this, but we have football? Wow. I thought we ended the college football season, but apparently we don't. Or apparently we did not. So let's do our tour and give you the scores for tonight, then give you what's coming up tomorrow, which is Saturday. Believe it or not. Okay, University of Texas San Antonio beat Western Kentucky 49-41. Oh, there it is. Hang on. All right. Now we're ready. And 17th ranked Utah beat 10th ranked Oregon by a score of 38-10. Now, let's get you a full detail, or maybe not full detail, but still detail nonetheless, of what's happening in college football this weekend. Haha! Yes, this weekend. We must do it. How? Why? Well, I'll tell you why. Because we can. Now, Saturday, it's Championship Saturday, and we begin with our noon time slots. The Big 12 Championship number. Oh boy, where's our little structures? Where's our little stretchy boys? Thank you. Okay. At noon, it's the Big 12 Championship. Live from Dallas. Number 9, Baylor, taking on number 5, Oklahoma State. That'll be seen on ABC. Also at noon Eastern, the MAC Championship. Kent State versus Northern Illinois over there at Ford Field in Detroit. That'll be on ESPN. The 3 and 3:30 games will be the Mountain West Championship. That'll be on Fox, live from Carson. Utah State versus number 19, San Diego State. The Sun Belt Championship, the Appalachian State takes on 24th ranked Louisiana at 3:30. That'll be on ESPN. The American Championship. Number 21, Houston at number 4, Cincinnati, 4 o'clock on ABC. 4 p.m., SEC Championship. Number 1, Georgia, taking on number 3, Alabama, live from Atlanta, GA. That'll be on CBS, and I think that's going to put a wrap on CBS's broadcast of the SEC. Next year, it goes to ESPN and ABC. I may be incorrect. If If I am, I will concede. Anyway, 4 p.m. the SEC championship game, Georgia versus Alabama in Atlanta on CBS. So no 6 o'clock newscast for the CBS affiliates. The big game, I don't care what anyone says, is going to be the Big Ten Championship live on Fox at 8 o'clock from Indianapolis. Number 2, Michigan, takes on number 13, Iowa. At 8 p.m., it's the ACC Championship. Number 15, Pittsburgh, takes on number 16, Wake Forest in Charlotte. That'll be on ABC. And at 11 p.m., it'll be just your normal football game. USC takes on California on FS1. That's right. Wowza, wowza, woo, 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 woo. That is correct. And I think that means cowboy. That means college football season is very much regular-wise. It was regular-wise over last week. This is just championship Saturday, except for one game that, well, it's just USC at California. All right, let us do that voodoo we do so well. That is correct. We go from the NC2A football to our basketball segment. That is correcto. Let's get you over to the hardwood. Start first with the NBA. And I did forget to make mention that all of our scores are presented to you by Caesars Sportsbook, who reminds you that we are all Caesars. And we got NBA scores. What do you think? We got a couple of games that are in the third quarter. Let's speak them, won't we? Yes, we will. Let's get rid of the commercials. 3:23 left in the third. It is LA Clippers over the Lakers, 77-68. By the way, we got news for Laker fans. They're not exactly happy with ESPN. We'll tell you why in our media report. 8:29 left to play in their third quarter. It is Golden State Warriors 67, the Phoenix Suns 56. Now let's get you some final scores. Cleveland Cavaliers over the Washington Wizards 116-101. Miami Heat over the Indiana Pacers 113-104. The Brooklyn Nets over the Minnesota Timberwolves 110-109. 76ers over the Hawks 98-96. Rockets over the Magic 118-116. The Pelicans over the Mavericks 107-91. And the Utah Jazz, that's right. Who knew Utah actually loved jazz music? 137 over 130. They beat the Celtics. That is the NBA, but we are not done yet. We are not done with the lovely scores of basketball. No, we got women's basketball. And we got men's college basketball. That's right. It's time to go to college and get you some college hoopla. That's right. You're wondering what I just did. I just took my med. So give me a moment here. All right, here we go. Come on. There we go. All right, let's rock and roll with the full scoreboard. The women, we got some finals to give you. We're going to give them to you. Are you ready for them? I know I am. And once again, they're all presented by Caesar Sportsbook. Excuse me. Number 1 ranked South Carolina over Kansas State, 65-44. Number 2 ranked UConn, a 74-49 winner over Seton Hall. And number 7 Arizona and UC Riverside couldn't play down by the Riverside because they were postponed. Sad, isn't it? Yes, indeed. It is sad. Okay. Let's there we go. There we are, ladies and gentlemen. We're tapping the buttons good this weekend. Hopefully we got a lot for you in the men's basketball, and yes, indeed, we do. Number 2 ranked Purdue over Iowa, 77-70. Number 7 ranked Texas, an 88-58 winner over UT Rio Grande Valley. 8th ranked Kansas, a 95-75 winner over St. John's, and 15th ranked Houston over Bryant, 111-44. So there you go. It's swimming around. We are swimming past this, are we not? Yes, we is. Okay, let's get to the G League. That's a league. Okay, here we go. A little G League music, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. It is time to go G Leaguing. G Leaguing across the universe. Okay, here are the scores on Friday, and much like we do for hockey, we're going to do for the G League, and that's give you a little looky-loo at who's broadcasting. So here we go. Let's boot that up one. All right, thank you. The Friday scores, very simple. Wisconsin Herd over the Grand Rapids Gold, 131-127. Westchester Knicks over the College Park Skyhawks, 121-117. Lakeland Magic over the Memphis Hustle, 118-97. Fort Wayne Mad Ants over Sioux Falls Skyforce, 125-112. Greensboro Swarm over the Austin Spurs, 105-96. 2 games are still going on as we see to the Broche. South Bay Lakers, 125. Santa Cruz Warriors, 93. With 3:28 remaining in regulation, which is the fourth quarter. And the Oklahoma City Blue taking on the G League Ignite. The Blue lead the Ignite 101-83, 7:24 left in the fourth quarter. Now, let's give you a little preview of the weekend tap dance, and it goes something like this. Saturday, 2 o'clock, Capital City Go-Go take on the Raptors 905. You can catch that game on NBAGleague.com, TSN, and NBA TV in Canada. Long Island Nets take on the Delaware Blue Coats at 7 p.m. You can catch that on NBAGleague.com. Another 7 o'clock game, the Wisconsin Herd taking on the Grand Rapids Gold. That'll be seen on NBAGleague.com and TV 32. 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Fort Wayne Mad Ants and the Sioux Falls Skyforce. That'll be on NBAGleague.com. And finally, the South Bay Lakers at 10 p.m. take on the Santa Cruz Warriors. That will be on NBAGleague.com, NBC Sports Bay Area Plus, and Spectrum Sports Net. Now, the Sunday games we give you as well, friends, because there's not that much of them. It's the NBA doubleheader, NBA TV Sunday Double Dip. 3 p.m. Eastern, Lakeland Magic, Memphis Hustle, and at 5 p.m. Eastern, Oklahoma City Blue and the G League Ignite. That'll be now the Lakeland Magic, Memphis Hustle will be on NBA TV. I don't think there's a radio voice for it, but we'll make double sure. The Oklahoma City Blue at 5 p.m. take on the G League Ignite, and that'll be also on NBA TV, as well as KINB 105.3 FM. 9 p.m. No, 6 p.m. Eastern, it'll be the Mexico City Capitans against the Birmingham Squadron, catching on NBAGleague.com, My 68 Birmingham, and V94.9. Yep, and that is your weekend of basketball in the G League. You want to do the NBA? Why not? Why not? It'll keep us on the straight and narrow. Okay? So let's get to the schedule for tomorrow. Tomorrow's big game, or big games tomorrow on the weekend. Let's see. Saturday, December 4th, Denver Nuggets at the New York Knicks at 1 o'clock. That'll be on NBA League Pass. Locally, it'll be, in the Denver area, you see it on Altitude. In New York, it'll be on MSG, Radio, ESPN New York, and KKSE in Denver. 8 o'clock, the Bulls take on the Nets from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. That'll be on, yes, and NBC Sports Chicago. On the radio side, it will be 101.9 FM and 660 AM, WFAN, and 670 WSCR, the score in Chi-Town and Brooklyn, respectfully, or New York, respectfully. Also at 8 p.m., the Miami Heat play on the road against the defending champion of the NBA, Milwaukee Bucks. The television, folks, it'll be on NBA League Pass, also on Bally Sports Wisconsin and Bally Sports Sun. On radio for Milwaukee fans, for Milwaukee fans, it'll be on 620 AM, 103.3 FM, WTMJ, and in the lovely place of Miami, it'll be on Waxy, WAXY 790, and in Espanol on Waqui, WAQY 710. 8:30, the Memphis Grizzlies visit the Dallas Mavericks. It'll be on NBA League Pass. Bally Sports Southwest Dallas, Bally Sports Southeast Memphis. On radio, 97.1 FM, and in Espanol, 99.1 FM, ESPN. And also for Dallas, it'll be on Memphis 97.1 FM, in Espanol 99.1 FM. I think they meant Dallas. Okay. And for Memphis, it'll be on ESPN 92.9 and 680 AM. At 8:30, the San Antonio Spurs meet the Golden State Warriors, NBC Sports Bay Area, and Ken's TV5. And on the radio side, 95.7 The Game for Golden State Warriors, WOAI and KXTN in the Espanol area for San Antonio. 10 p.m., you've got Boston Celtics, Portland Trail Blazers, also on NBA League Pass. Local sport broadcast on the TV side, Root Sports and NBC Sports Boston, Portland and Boston area. On the radio side for Portland, it'll be Rip City Radio 620 and 98.5 for Boston, the Sports Hub. And at 10 p.m., it's the LA Clippers and the Sacramento Kings on NBA League Pass. Also on NBC Sports California, Bally Sports SoCal. On the radio side, KHTK Sports 1140 AM and AM 570 in Espanol. No, correction. Let's do this properly. KHTK Sports 1140 AM for the Clippers. For Sacramento, no, that's for Sacramento. Thank you, boys. Yeah. KHTK Sports 1140 AM Sacramento and AM 570 KLAC, KLAC in Espanol on KTMS or KTMZ in Los Angeles. Do we do the Sunday, or do you want to wait for Sunday? Okay, we'll do the breather on Sunday. Anyway, shall we do the NHL? For some reason, we've got to. So here we go, kids. A little NHL Flinsky. And we got almost a full night of fun, thrills, and excitement. Leave us to go mildly along. Let's see, go. And here we go, ladies and germs. Third period, or as we call it, the regulation period. 3:59 remaining in regulation. The Vegas Golden Knights lead the Arizona Coyotes 6-1. At the end of Flames lead the Anaheim Mighty Ducks 3-2. Also in the second, Seattle Kraken lead the Edmonton Oilers 4-2. Final scores with the fun and excitement of the Molson's Cup 3 Stars. The New York Rangers beat the San Jose Sharks 1-0. Strome for the Rangers, 1 goal. Fox for the Rangers, 1 assist, and Hill for San Jose, 26 saves. Winnipeg Jets over the New Jersey Devils, 8-4. Schleifer for Winnipeg, 3 goals and 1 assist. Ehlers for Winnipeg, 2 goals. And Wheeler for Winnipeg, 3 assists. That's it. That's all we have. Wow. That was sad. That was sad. Yes. Okay. Here we go. Let's get you over to the game center for the AHL. That's right. Let's pump her up. And yes, we will give you what is coming up on the big night, which is, of course, Saturday on NHL, AHL, and OHL. So here we go. 18 minutes, 18 seconds, otherwise known as very early in the third period. It is the Stockton Heat over the San Diego Gulls, 3-0. Tucson Roadrunners over the Colorado Eagles, 4-1. Some games postponed. Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins and Syracuse Crush, they were postponed. So too was the Springfield Thunderbirds and Rochester Americans, also postponed. Plus the Henderson Silver Knights were and Bakersfield Condors also postponed. Milwaukee Admirals over the Cleveland Monsters, 4-1. Rockford Ice Hogs and Grand Rapids Griffins, 4-1. Lavelle Rocket over Texas Stars, 4-3. Charlotte Checkers over Lehigh Valley Phantoms, 5-3. Shall we find out what the AHL has for us on Saturday? Here we go. Let's give you the schedule here for tomorrow's Big Whoppers. Shall we do that? Thank you. I forgot I can touch a button and boom, we got it made. I apologize. Come on, Saturday. Let's hit Saturday. Thank you. Okay, tomorrow night, 7 p.m. games are the Manitoba Moose taking on the Belleville Senators. The Milwaukee Emeralds taking on the Cleveland Monsters. Rockford Ice Hogs taking on the Grand Rapids Griffins. Another 7 o'clock game, 6 p.m. Central. Chicago Wolves take on the Iowa Wild. Rochester Americans taking on the Syracuse Crunch. Utica Comets over the Bridgeport Islanders. San Diego Gulls taking on Stockton Heat, 6 o'clock Pacific, which is about 9 p.m. Eastern. Budweiser Event Center, another 9 p.m. game, Eastern Time, 7:05 Mountain. Tucson Roadrunners, Colorado Eagles. In the Abbotsford, in the 7 o'clock Pacific time zone, which again says which is 10 p.m. our time. San Jose Barracuda and the Abbotsford Canucks. Ontario Reign, Bakersfield Condors, also at 7. Unfortunately, a couple of games and maybe more have already been given the postponement. Charlotte Checkers, Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins, the Hershey Bears, and the Lehigh Valley Phantoms, and the Utica Comets and the Hartford Wolfpack. Those games got the postponed. Jiriapa. It's taking out to the Ontario Hockey League. And let's give you the scores from Friday. 8 games. Let's bring them to you. North Bay over Hamilton, 5-2. Oshawa over Kingston. Is it Kingston or Kensington? Kingston. Thank you. Kingston. No, it's Kingston over Oshawa, 5-0. Mississauga over Ottawa, 1-0. Windsor over Sarnia, 7-5. We have a postponement. Barrie and Sudbury were postponed. The Sioux beat Guelph 7-2. Owen Sound lost to Kitchener 4-3. London over Erie 4-1. And Zatislos. But we do have a looky-loo at some Saturday games. Yes, we do. We do have Saturday games here. We do, yes. Let's get on the right month here, boys. Come on. Oops, we overspun. Let's Okay, Sarnia and London. North Bay, Niagara, Mississauga and Peterborough, Guelph and Saginaw, Flint and Owen Sound. And that's it. Sudbury and Barrie postponed. So those are your Saturday games on the Ontario Hockey League. And as we do every Friday night, we may miss some Friday nights, but we still do it. Let's give you the schedule for Saturday, including the games you will see on Hockey Night in Canada and the NHL Network. Therein. So, no. We don't want standings, guys. We don't want standings just yet. We need schedule for Saturday. And, of course, you all know they start in the afternoon. So, let's enjoy the afternoons, shall we? Together. In all kinds of weather. Okay, we ready for the schedule. Schedule, guys. Schedule. Thank you. Hey, I knew we would get somewhere if we just practiced. Okay, our Saturday games start at 1 o'clock. St. Louis Blues at Florida Panthers. That game, of course, one of the double dippers on the NHL Network, also seen on Sportsnet, Bally Sports Florida, and Bally Sports Midwest. Now here are the 7 p.m. games and 10 p.m. games on, as we like to call it, Hockey Night in Canada. Montreal Canadiens at Nashville Predators. That game on the NHL Network, City TV, Sportsnet East, on the French Canadian Sports Network, TVA Sports, and on Bally Sports South. The Toronto Maple Leafs play at the Minnesota Wild. That game will be part of the CBC Hockey Night in Canada double dip, along with Sportsnet Ontario, Sportsnet West, and Sportsnet Pacific, Bally Sports North, and Bally Sports Wisconsin Plus. The defending Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning take a trip to Beantown to take on the Boston Bruins. That game on Nesson and Bally Sports Sun. Colorado at Ottawa, Sportsnet 1 and Altitude. New York Islanders at Detroit, Bally Sports Detroit at MSG Plus. Columbus at the Washington Capitals. The Columbus Blue Jackets and the Washington Capitals will meet on NBC Sports Washington and Bally Sports Ohio. Buffalo Sabres and Carolina Hurricanes will meet at 7:30, Bally Sports South and MSG Buffalo. Linda Steele, Chicago Blackhawks will take on the New York Rangers at 8 Eastern Time, MSG and NBC Sports Chicago Plus. And the second half of the Hockey Night in Canada Double Dip, the Pittsburgh Penguins pay a visit to the Vancouver Canucks at 10 p.m. That'll be on CBC, Sportsnet City, en Canadien Francais, on TVA Sports 2, and AT&T Sportsnet Pittsburgh. So that is your garden variety Saturday afternoon and Saturday night hockey night coverage for you. Oh yes. Okay. We have done our duty on all sides of the ball there. We got a lot more to do. But right now, we have got to do this, ladies and germs. It is time for headlines to be made into details. So, we can. Let's do this. And maybe he was embarrassed when the Buckeyes got slam danced by the Michigan Wolverines. But, wow. Ohio State quarterback Quinn Ewers plans to enter the famed transfer portal after one season with the Buckeyes. The university confirmed on Friday Ewers, who hails from Texas high school football powerhouse South Lake Carroll, was originally a member of the 2022 recruiting class, but reclassified to the class of 2021 as the number one overall recruit to join the Buckeyes this season. He previously committed to Texas in August 2020 before decommitting 2 months later. Ewers is expected to consider the Longhorns along with Texas A&M and Texas Tech as a transfer destination. According to Chris Hummer of 24/7 Sports, Ewers was fourth on the depth chart at Ohio State this season between C.J. Stroud, Kyle McCord, and Jack Miller III. He appeared in just one game, and that was Ohio State's blowout win over Michigan State, and did not attempt to pass the coward. Though he was not a factor on the field for the Buckeyes, Ewers capitalized on new rules allowing college athletes to benefit off their name, image, and likeness, signing an NIL deal reportedly worth $1.4 million over 3 years. A principal factor in Ewers' decision to reclassify and enroll at Ohio State a year early was the lack of NIL rights for high school players in Texas. Now, because he appeared in just one game, the 2021 season won't count against Ewers' eligibility, meaning he should have 4 seasons left to play at his next destination. However, if Ewers lives up to his recruiting hype, he could be NFL draft bound after just 2 more seasons of college football. We shall see. Yes, we shall see. We shall see in doodly doodly dee. Okay, are we going to continue? Yes, we must. Okay, and another story out of college football. Well, University of Miami is planning to pursue Oregon coach Mario Cristobal as its next head coach, according to multiple reports, despite still having a sitting head coach and no athletic director. Barry Jackson reports Miami is expected to make a run at Cristobal, while John Canzano of the Oregonian notes that Miami brass hopes to speak to Cristobal after the Pac-12 championship game was played tonight. So they should be talking to him. Now, to cement its pitch, Canzano reports that Miami is targeting Clemson athletic director Dan Radakovich. However, Dennis Stott of CBS Sports reports that no decision has been made. Radakovich started his athletic administration career by gaining an MBA from Miami, but is best known for transforming Clemson into a national power after taking the job in 2012. Now, Oregon isn't going down without a fight, however. Canzano reports the university has put together a monster contract extension described as Brian Kelly and Lincoln Riley dollars. Maybe they should also include that guy from Michigan State who just signed a mighty big deal as well, mighty big extension. While Riley's contract to USA is not public, Kelly's deal with LSU will pay him more than $100 million over 10 years if he lasts through the contract. An announcement on Cristobal's decision is expected by Tuesday. Now, in 4 seasons as coach of the Ducks, Cristobal has had a 35-12 record, including 2 consecutive Pac-12 championships. He can earn a 3rd straight against number 17 Utah, which would make him the first coach since Chip Kelly in 2011 reached the mark. In defensive end Kayvon Thibodeau, the Ducks likely have their 3rd straight top 10 NFL pick. And conversely, Miami is in disarray following the resignation of athletic director Blake James after 8 years after leading the Hurricanes to an 8-3 record and number 22 postseason ranking. Diaz was shaky in 2021. Miami started year number 14, but finished just 7-5 after a wave of injuries. Offensive coordinator Rhett Lashley just left to become the head coach at SMU. Diaz, notably, is equally as tied to the city of Miami as Cristobal. The fellow Cuban-American was also born in Miami and is the son of former Miami mayor of the same name. However, landing Cristobal and Radkovic would be a transformational set of hires in Miami, which show commitment to athletics that the university has not shown since the glory days. We shall see what happens. Ooh. And in college basketball, well, maybe this should be the right thing. Just 8 games into the season, Maryland basketball coach Mark Turgeon are parting ways. The school announced Friday that Turgeon is stepping down as coach of the Terrapins, quote, in a mutual decision, end quote. In other words, he couldn't wait for them to fire him, so he just up and said bye. Assistant coach Danny Manning will serve as the interim coach beginning with Maryland's next game on Sunday against Northwestern. The Terrapins are 5-3, but have underperformed thus far at the start of Big Ten Big Ten play looms. After beginning the season ranked number 21 in the AP Top 25, the Terrapins have underperformed thus far with home losses against George Mason, Virginia Tech, and a neutral site loss against Louisville. The best win is a victory over Richmond for a program that was lauded for its use of the transfer portal this offseason. With the addition of point guard Fats Russell from Rhode Island and center Qudus Wahab from Georgetown, the results have been rather lackluster, if not disappointing. The university announced a contract extension for Turgeon through the 2025-2026 season in April, and after some speculation that may be interested in moving on, he finishes his 10-year, 221 and 113 in 10 full seasons, and was 1 month into his 11th season as Maryland coach before stepping down. Turgeon, a former Kansas point guard and college teammate of Manning, previously served as coach at Texas A&M, Wichita State, and others. His record at Wake Forest wasn't great, but Manning was successful at Tulsa before his Wake Forest stop, and he proved to be a good talent developer with the Demon Deacons, even if the results didn't follow. It's not a stretch to suggest that Maryland could still compete in the Big Ten and jockey for an NCAA tournament appearance this season under Manning's direction. The Terrapins are off to an awful start in three-point shooting, ranked 344th nationally as of Friday, with a percentage of just 26.8%. Wow. By the way, Nick Rekieta on tonight with more trial coverage. And before we do that, let's tell you what is coming up on Nick Rekieta's little show of shows. You think somewhere we could actually find a Yahoo. Okay, come on, boys. There we go. Let's give you what's coming up tonight on Nick's broadcast. Or will he have a broadcast tonight? I have no idea now. But anyway, he has a good show. It's Rekieta Law, Nick Rekieta, The humble Minnesota attorney hosts a show called Lost Explaining the Interwebs, and he will have I'm hoping he has a Friday show tonight. I am not certain, but we'll find out. He's been on for 15 minutes. Usually he's on at midnight Eastern, 11 Central. So take a look and enjoy and embrace the moment. Alrighty. And it is official. Notre Dame has promoted defensive coordinator Marcus Freeman to replace the departed Brian Kelly as the next head coach of the Fighting Irish. The school announced earlier today. The 35-year-old Freeman takes over the program less than one season after joining Notre Dame from Cincinnati. And let's take you. And, well, the Portland Trailblazers fired general manager Neil Olshey on Friday after an investigation showed that he had created a toxic work environment. No shit. Olshey had run the team's basketball operation since 2012, and now that he's gone, director of pro personnel Joe Cronin has been elevated to interim GM while the team searches for a permanent replacement. Now, according to multiple reports, names have already begun to surface in that search. Yahoo Sports' Chris Haynes reported Friday the Bulls GM Mark Eversley and Knicks general manager Scott Perry are two names that have emerged thus far, according to Jake Fisher of Bleacher Report. Two former players that currently hold front office positions elsewhere also in that mix: former Detroit Piston Tayshaun Prince, currently with the Grizzlies, and the Spurs' Brent Barry. Eversley has been highly regarded for quite some time and has interviewed for multiple prominent front office positions. He worked for Raptors, Wizards, and 76ers before joining Arturas Karnisovas in Chicago. Perry spent time in the Pacific Northwest when he worked for the Seattle Supersonics. He was part of the front office that drafted Kevin Durant there, but currently works under Leon Rose in New York. He initially worked for Steve Mills, but he managed to retain his position after Mills was fired. Perry started his career as a coach before moving into the front office. As everybody knows, Tayshaun Prince, he's known as one of the key defenders on the 2004 NBA champion Detroit Pistons team. One of his most notable teammates there, Chauncey Billups, who's currently coaching the Blazers. Barry did not play with Billups, but their careers overlapped, and his experience as a two-time NBA champion would surely appeal to Damian Lillard as he seeks to elevate the Blazers back to contention. Yes, contention. Contention! Mark Cuban, he owns Dallas Mavericks. Well, he just bought a small Texas town with a population of 23 as a favor to a friend. That's right. And that's it. We continue on our merry little chase in Sanborn by taking you to some international sports. And by international sports, we're talking, of course, football, or as we call it, soccer. So here we go with some soccer action for you in the championship. Fulham and Bournemouth tied at 1. The FA Cup, Charlton Athletic and Gateshead play to. Let's try again. Charlton Athletic beat Gateshead 2-0. Rotherham United beat Stockport County 1-0. Women's International Friendly, Costa Rica over Nicaragua 3-1. Scottish Championship, Inverness over Kilmarnock 1-0. Scottish League 2. Annan Athletic beat Edinburgh City 1-0. Simaru Premier Action, the New Saints over Ballatown 4-1. Kaunas Quay Nomads over Aberystwyth Town 1-0. Spanish La Liga, Granada over Alaves 2-1. In Das Bundesliga, it was FC Union Berlin over Leipzig 2-1. In the Australian A-League, it was Western Sydney Wanderers over the Wellington Phoenix 2-0. And in the Turkish Super League, it was Kazimpaşa and Beşiktaş tied at 1. Russian Premier League, Zenit St. Pete and Rostov played to a 2-2 tie. Oh, goody, goody gumdroppies. Okay, let's get you in with some media bites. And we got some pretty good media bites, don't we? Yes, we do. And guess who will make a TV appearance for the first time since he retired from the late night drill on CBS? The Manning cast, or as ESPN calls it, Monday Night Football with Peyton and Eli, has landed one of its most notable guests to date. The Omaha Productions account announced Friday that David Letterman will be a guest on Eli Monday during their coverage of the New England Patriots Buffalo Bills game. Both of the Mannings have significant history with appearing on Letterman's CBS Late Show with David Letterman. Those clips are just a couple of the many times they showed up there, so this makes sense. They haven't yet appeared on his Netflix show, but that could be coming. At any rate, Letterman has shown a lot of sports interest over the years, from occasional work in that field to bits on his shows, to sending his mother to Olympics, to a SportsCenter guest appearance, to co-owning a racing team, to a recent appearance at Nets Media Day, and it feels like he might be a great guest. We'll see how it turns out at the Manning cast on ESPN2. All right, let's keep going. And wow! CBS Sports Radio has copped a good dynamic duo for the drive time slot, since Tiki and Tierney will be joining WFAN, which, by the way, is owned, well, no, they're not. They're owned by Odyssey, which used to be CBS Radio, which used to be Odyssey, used to be Intercom, which used to be CBS Radio, which used to be Infinity. There you go. Anyway, well, wish we had the X here. It's almost like we had a trade in sports radio, but it kind of looks that way. On Thursday, New York's WFAN announced that Tierney and Tiki Barber were taking their Tiki and Tierney show from CBS Sports Radio and CBS Sports Network to 101.9 FM and 660 AM, WFAN's 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. time slot, taking over for Maggie Gray and Mark Malusis. And one day later, Odyssey announced its replacement for Tiki and Tierney on CBS Sports Radio and maybe, quite possibly, CBS Sports Network. And that is two familiar faces, Maggie Gray and Andrew Perloff. Now, if you're wondering who the hell Andrew Perloff is, well, first let me give you the time of the show. Beginning January 3rd, there'll be the new afternoon drive team from 3 to 6, which ain't bad. Now, if you are wondering just who the hell is this Andrew Perloff, boy? Who the hell is he? Well, if you are a fan of the Dan Patrick radio show, which also simulcasts, which is on some of the Fox Sports Radio Network stations. I guess you could say that. Dan Patrick Show, syndicated by the Premier Radio Network. And it's also part of Fox Sports Radio, I do believe, in some areas. They also are on other sports radio stations. He was known as McLovin from the Dan Patrick Show. That's right. That is the same guy, not someone else with the same name. Perloff will stick with Patrick's show until December 23rd, and then he's off to do his thing with CBS Sports Radio and maybe, possibly, CBS Sports Network. Patrick announced the move on his show Friday, explaining that Perloff has been driving at least 90 minutes from Brooklyn to Milford, Connecticut, and back every day, joining a tight-knit crew already established from Patrick's ESPN radio days. Perloff, he's been one of the Danettes since 2009, previously worked at Sports Illustrated and the since-defunct NBC Sports Radio, expressed thanks for the role he's had on the program, and he added to the remarks on social media later. And, hey, You never know. But kind of looks like this is going to be exciting. It's once again Maggie Gray and Andrew Perloff. Can't wait to see if CBS Sports Network will continue the simulcast of that time period, 3 to 6, right after the hot man, Mr. Jim Rome. We shall find out definitely. All right, let's get back to some more good stuff before we head off into the sunset of enjoyment. Yes, indeed. So, let's see. Let's not do that. And Beth Mowens. I love this. On Thursday, well, if you were watching the ESPN 76ers and Hawks tonight, you would notice that Beth Mowens was making her debut as the first woman to call play-by-play for a regular season NBA game on the four-letter monolith. Mowens called the second half of Week 1 Monday Night Football doubleheader in both 2017 and 2018. Also called several regular season NFL games for CBS from 2017 through 2021, the current season. In addition to her regular work with ESPN, she has called softball for NBC's coverage of the Tokyo Olympics this past summer and has worked as a fill-in broadcaster on the Cubs and Sinclair-owned marquee sports network. This year, ESPN's Lee Hexall became the first woman with a regular national NHL play-by-play role, and ESPN also rolled out an all-women MLB broadcast in September. Locally, Lisa Byington, former staffer at WLNS Channel 6, formerly Sports Freak, because she loves sports, that's why. And Kate Scott got full-time play-by-play gigs for the Bucks and 76ers respectfully. Huzzah! Actually, I think the word we should say is sports geek. Although sports freak would be somewhat intersected. Either way, it'll work. Okay, we are down to one more segment. Aren't you glad? I know I am. All right. Let's kick it over to more international sport. That's right. Time now to get very international and give you all the fun. We've done that and that. Let's go now to basketball in the EuroLeague. After over 2 games went overtime, first game was Olympiacos and Unix Kazan. Olympiacos defeated Unix Kazan by 3, 87-84. And Barcelona pounded Anadolu F's 95-93. Svenja Zvezda's Mountains defeated Zenit Petersburg 69-58. And Alba Berlin over Olympia Milano 81-76. Let's see. Do we need any updating? Yes, we do. In the NBA, Golden State Warriors lead the Phoenix Suns 111-87 with 10 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Final score from the Battle of Los Angeles: the Clippers clipped the wings of the Los Angeles Lakers 119-95. In fact, if we got time, we got to tell you that it looks like the shine is gone from LeBron James. We will explain that as well. A couple more updates on the NHL. Early in the third period, Calgary Flames, Anaheim Mighty Ducks, they're tied at 3. And 14 minutes in, and I'm going to say midway in the third. You sure? Oh, yeah, they're counting up. Okay, so third period, we're almost at the end. It's 3-3, so we're possibly going into overtime. And on the 15-minute mark of the third period, the Kraken lead the Edmonton Oilers 4-3. In other hockey news, in the Czech Republic Extra Liga, Olomouc over Litvinov 4-3. Plzeň over Karlovy Vary 3-2. In overtime, Mountfield HK over Vitkovic 2-1. Kometa Brno over Kladno 5-2. Pardubice over Trinec 6-3. Ziln over Sparta Prague 6-4. In Finland, Kalpa over JYP 2-1. In penalty action, it was Kuku over Pelicans 2-1. Jukert it beat Saipa 4-2, and Isles, defeated Tapra 6-3. And folks, that is it. We have done our duty, ladies and gentlemen. We have had our blast. And they said it wouldn't last, but it did. So we've got, oh no, not yet. We're not signing off yet. We got 4 minutes left. Let's get, if we can, let's get to that fun thing we like to do, and that is a recap. There we are. Up, please. Thank you. All right. This is not going to make Laker fans very happy. ESPN was originally scheduled to broadcast Friday's game between the Lakers and the Clippers. And, of course, LeBron was sidelined indefinitely after NBA's COVID-19 health and safety protocol. Along with that is the fact that the Clippers don't have Kawhi Leonard covers from a torn ACL. And the marquee game is missing two of its marquee names. Now, coupled with the fact that Golden State and Phoenix were playing Friday night, the two hottest teams in the NBA coming off an electric matchup on Tuesday as the Suns extended their 17-game winning streak with a 104-96 win. Well, rematch, you'd have to mention the rematch so soon after is going to draw eyeballs as well. So ESPN flexed out the Lakers and Clippers game so that they can broadcast the Warriors and Suns rematch instead. While that might not be terribly shocking, it's worth noting all the same as the NBA and Western Conference landscape shifts. There was, however, a bit of a twist on Thursday when James was reinstated immediately after it was determined that it was a false positive. The development seemed to confirm the meaning behind LeBron's fishy tweet on Wednesday. Well, too little too late for ESPN to rechange their mind, so ESPN, maybe you should have waited. But you had the more exciting game, I will tell you that much. Anyway, now we're done. And we thank you folks for kindly dropping by and saying hello to all of us as we bring you fun, excitement, thrills, chills, and overstate the obvious as usual. This has been Sports Final. Believe it or not, we are 27 days away from New Year's Eve. Yay! And 21 days away from Christmas and 20 days away from Christmas Eve. So there you go. All the holidays wrapped into one big old banana. And a little reminder, folks, in I think next week, guys in the control room, give me a little sign, please. Next week, our promotion guys will unveil this year's New Year's Eve title and look for our podcast we do on Spreaker. Okay, I'm getting the sideways thumbs. Possible, yeah. So stand by. Next week, 2 weeks. Okay, in 2 weeks we should have our look at the promotion that we're going to have for our New Year's Eve special on Spreaker.com. But for us, that's it. This has been a presentation of Mystifying Creativity Productions in association with the L2C Media Network and L2C Sports and YouTube. We will see you all tomorrow night with the Rabbi and the NFL picks for week 13, I do believe, plus what is left of the not Prudential College Football Scoreboard and a whole lot more, and more media news as well. Thank you all very much for watching. I am Steve, the Baxman Baxley, for Harry von Stuttgart and the entire Crazy-Loaded crew. Have a great Saturday. Have a great weekend. Watch enough sports, or just have a ball. Have a sporty ball. We'll see you. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.